only relief was the 10 p.m. gong, when he could stretch out his tortured body to relax. But it seemed that as soon as he disappeared in sleep, the 3 a.m. gong would sound, waking him to another day of torment. At the end of the 30th day, hope twinkled dimly in the distance. He was now past the halfway mark. He was on the home stretch. Almost there, he thought, trying to convince himself. The days grew longer, and the pain in his knees and back grew sharper. At times he thought he would cry. Still, he pushed through. 2 weeks to go. 1 week to go. In that last week, time dragged like an ant stuck in treacle. Even though he was now used to enduring pain, it was no easier. To give in now, he thought, would be unfaithful to all he had endured so far. He was going to see it through, even if it killed him, and at times he thought it might. He woke up to the 3 a.m. gong of the 60th day. He was almost there. The pain on that last day was incredible, as if pain had only been teasing him up to then, but now was pulling no punches. Even though there were only a few hours to go, he wondered if he would make it. Then came the final 50 minutes. He began that session imagining all the things he would do, starting in only 1 hour's time, when the retreat was over. The long hot bath, the leisurely meal, talking, lounging. Then the pain interrupted his planning, demanding all of his mind. He opened his eyes slightly, secretly, several times during that last session to peek at the clock. He couldn't believe that time was strolling so slowly. Maybe the batteries in the clock needed changing. Maybe the clock would stop altogether with the hands forever stuck 5 minutes before the end of the retreat. The final 50 minutes were like 50 eons, but even eternity must come to an end someday. And so it did. The gong sounded so sweetly for the end of the retreat. Waves of pleasure coursed through his body, driving the pain deep into the background. He'd made it. Now he would treat himself. Bring on the bath. The master rang the gong again to get everyone's attention. He had an announcement to make. He said, "This has been an exceptional retreat. Many monks have made great progress, and some have suggested to me in their private interviews that the retreat should be extended for another 2 weeks. I think this is a magnificent idea. The retreat is extended. Carry on sitting." All the monks folded their legs again and sat motionless in meditation to begin another 2 weeks. The Western monk said that he didn't feel any pain in his body anymore. He was just trying to figure out who those damn monks were who suggested the extension, and thinking what he was going to do to them once he found out. He hatched the most unmonkish plans for those uncaring monks. His anger blotted out all pain. He was incensed. He was murderous. He had never felt so much anger before. Then the gong sounded again. It was the quickest 15 minutes of his life. "Retreat over," the master said. "There are refreshments for you all in the refectory. Go at your leisure. You may talk now." The Western monk was lost in confusion. "I thought we were meditating for another 2 weeks. What's going on?" A senior monk who spoke English saw his bewilderment and came over. Smiling, he said to the Westerner, "Don't worry. The master does the same every year." The anger-eating demon. A problem with anger is that we enjoy being angry. There is an addictive and powerful pleasure associated with the expression of anger, and we don't want to let go of what we enjoy. However, there is also a danger in anger, a consequence that outweighs any pleasure. If we only realized the fruit of anger and remembered the connection, then we would be willing to let anger go. In a palace, in a realm a long time ago, a demon walked in while the king was away. The demon was so ugly, he smelled so bad, and what he said was so disgusting that the guards and other palace workers froze in horror. This allowed the demon to stride right through the outer rooms into the royal audience hall and then sit himself on the king's throne. Seeing the demon on the king's throne, the guards and the others came to their senses. "Get out of here!" they shouted. "You don't belong there! If you don't move your butt right now, we'll carve it out with our swords." At these few angry words, the demon grew a few inches bigger, his face grew uglier, his smell got worse, and his language became even more obscene. Swords were brandished, daggers pulled out, threats made. At every angry word or angry deed, even at every angry thought, that demon grew an inch bigger, more ugly in appearance, more smelly and more foul in his language. The confrontation had been going on for quite a while when the king returned. He saw on his own throne this gigantic demon. He had never seen anything so repulsively ugly before, not even in the movies. The stench coming from the demon would make even a maggot sick. And the language was more repugnant than anything you'd hear in the roughest of drunk-filled downtown bars on a Saturday night. The king was wise. That's why he was king. He knew what to do. "Welcome," said the king warmly. "Welcome to my palace. Has anyone got you anything to drink yet? Or to eat?" At those few kind gestures, the demon grew a few inches smaller, less ugly, less smelly, and less offensive. The palace personnel caught on very quickly. One asked the demon if he would like a cup of tea. "We have Darjeeling, English breakfast, or Earl Grey, or do you prefer a nice peppermint? It's good for your health." Another phoned out for pizza, family size for such a big demon, while others made sandwiches. Devilled ham, of course. One soldier gave the demon a foot massage, while another massaged the scales on his neck.